Sagittarius, thank you for joining me. This is your astrology forecast for January 2018 for Sagittarius Rising, Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Moon. Apologies that this video is a little bit late. I've just had a lot to catch up on with myself, but next month I will be running on time. So let's get straight into it. So for you, the sectors that are really lit up, or the sector of your life that's really lit up, is your second house this month. And your second house rules finances, resources, self-esteem and values. So this is where a lot of the action and a lot of the activity is going to be taking place. Jupiter has left your sign, thank goodness. You've probably been through a lot over the last 2.5 years. There have been some hard lessons, things that maybe come slower, but at the same time, I feel like it would have refined you as a person. It would have made you get a lot more serious about what it is you want out of life and realize that you have to make long-term plans and put that effort in on a daily basis if you want to achieve your goals. You know, Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius, and you know, we are known for, you know, we can have all these big dreams and big ideas, but then we can just go from one thing to another because we have so many interests. Hopefully, Saturn for you, as it has done for me, has made you actually drop a few things and concentrate your energies, because when we concentrate our focus, our power is so much more strong, is so much stronger, and we're able to manifest really well. Now, the really lovely thing is, Saturn has now moved into your second house, which it naturally rules, your second house of Capricorn, and this is manifestation energy. Where better to have manifestation energy than in your second house? Saturn is happy here. Now, people tend to say, oh, you know, Saturn transiting the second house, you're not going to make a lot of money and you might have to tighten the purse strings and all of that. You will have to get real on financial matters. This is not a time for frivolous spending. And you should be feeling that. I know I certainly am. You know, I don't feel like I really want to be spending that much, and I feel like less is more at the moment. I'm wanting to declutter, I'm wanting to streamline. So that's a really positive thing to go with. Start streamlining your finances. Start thinking about what's really needed and what isn't, and let's simplify and get clear on the financial picture so that you're in a strong position, because Saturn here can bring you rewards. It can bring you big rewards, and if you work with the energy, you know, you will stand in a really powerful position. Saturn also rules, you know, Saturn is about authority, so this is becoming an authority in terms of your finances. This is taking responsibility and actually stepping into your power financially, and also in terms of your value system, what matters to you, what it is you want to invest your time, money, energy, attention into. This is a time where you should be feeling this sense of empowerment and authority in those areas, and Saturn is asking you to take charge. Pluto's been in your second house for 10 years now. So, you know, it's been working there for quite some while, bringing changes and transformations and, you know, births and deaths and all of that kind of stuff. You know, there's probably been a lot of shifts in terms of how you make money. Saturn's going to be stabilizing this now. So this is really positive. At the beginning of the month, we started out with this full moon in Cancer in your 8th house, and this is also a money sector as well. So this might have started this chain now of events where you started thinking about money, thinking about how you make money, about your shared resources. Maybe you're thinking about how you spend money in relationships, whether you're overspending, whether you're receiving enough. Whether actually the relationship you're in is causing you to go beyond your comfort zone financially. At the same time, it was a very emotional full moon because it was in Cancer. So this could also play out in terms of intimate relationships, and it could be that actually you decided to either deepen a bond, an intimate bond, and to merge more with a partner, or you perhaps started to, because full moons tend to highlight things, and the 8th house it's about psychological issues. It can be about, you know, kind of codependency and addictions and things like that. Perhaps you found that the relationship that you were in, the person you were seeing, was actually triggering things in you that weren't healthy, and you started to see matters of codependency or matters of jealousy or just unhealthy psychological patterns being activated, and you decided to actually let that go. That could have been one potential way that this played out for you. So it's, you know, certainly an emotional full moon, and there's a lot of water energy present this month. You know, that full moon made a grand trine to Scorpio and to Jupiter in Scorpio, and Neptune in Pisces. Lost myself for a second there. So this is very psychic, emotional energy, and you know, Jupiter's there in that 12th house. He's working, and he's giving you a positive boost, but it's in very hidden ways. He's working behind the scenes, and he's asking you to delve deep and to know yourself, to find out what your real needs are, to find out what can be let go of. And he's preparing you for the new cycle that will come in at the end of this year, where Jupiter enters your sign, which will be really, I feel like it's going to be a really positive time for you. But before he can give you those gifts, and before you can feel that sense of expansion and really, really start to expand your view of who you are, first some things just need to be cleared through. So it's almost like clearing the cobwebs before bringing fresh energy in. So it was a really interesting full moon. So yeah, we have Mercury currently, it's in your sign. So this has probably seen you communicating quite a bit and thinking about your goals, your ideas, your aims, your wishes, that kind of thing. Mars will come into your first house, into your sign, and any ideas you had you'll be able to bring action to them. And that happens on when does that happen? That happens on the 26th. So when at first you have the ideas, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, these are my goals, these are my aims, then Mars will bring in that energy to make them real. Make sure you start, it's a really good time to start an exercise regime towards the end of the month. And you know, the stronger we feel in our body, the more able we are to be present and give our power to whatever it is that we're doing. So that would be a really good idea, to make sure you're kind of supporting yourself on a physical level, because your physical energy might have been a little bit drained. You might have been feeling quite tired, feeling like you need to retreat a bit during December. Now you're going to feel a little bit more energized, and you're going to feel a little bit more renewed with Mars there, and it gives you that go-getter energy. We've got so many sextiles happening in the first half of the month that affect your second house. So really bringing attention to your values, to your resources, to your money. And I feel like your value system is being rejigged. And I feel like Saggies are starting to get real on what it is they want, what it is they desire, what it is they value. And that could mean a real decluttering of things on an emotional level, on a relationship level. Anything that you feel drains your resources, that drains your feelings of self-worth, anything that clashes with your values is apt to go and be in a state of change right now. And this is just because you are streamlining and you're getting clear. And this is a really, I mean, this isn't just about this month, this is about the whole year ahead for you. This is a great setup for the year ahead, for getting clear on what you want. I feel like you are, if you work with this energy, you can literally come out of the gate running. Pardon my French. But you can, you know, it's almost like someone fires the gun and you are sprinting straight out the gate in 2018, and it's a great time for that. Don't neglect your inner needs. I don't think you will be. Saggies you guys are deep when it comes to your spirituality. You really are, because your 12th house is ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is a deep, watery sign. So a lot of you do go quite deep with it. You're willing to go get deep with your hidden self, which stands to your favor. So I feel like the truths you'll be uncovering, the things that you'll be understanding on a deep spiritual, emotional and psychological level are going to impart fuel this ability to declutter and to get clear on what your values are and what's important to you. We've got Jupiter in your 12th house sextiling Pluto in your second house on the 16th, and this is really positive energy, and this is bringing opportunity, maybe in unexpected ways, and maybe even bringing a deeper understanding of who, you know, what it is that you want, what it is that you value. Sorry, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this is really what the energy is. And I feel like you're feeling strong. I feel like you're feeling optimistic and you're getting insights quite spontaneously. This is really positive. This is really positive transformational energy that lends itself to making positive changes, whether that's making a financial plan or thinking about the long term, you know, in terms of what it is you're doing out there in the world, your career and all of that kind of thing. On the 17th, because we've got, let me just mention, we've got the Sun, we've got Pluto, we've got Saturn, we've got Venus, we've got Mercury, all in that second house, which leads up to this new moon in your second house, bringing fresh positive energy. This is a great time to, you know, start a new project, start a new, set some goals in terms of business, and also it could even be in terms of your physical body. You might be finding that you're getting more in touch with your physical body and that you're wanting to regenerate, set some health goals. This is a really good time for that. The healthier and stronger we feel, the more we're able to deal with things that come along in life. So this is really positive energy that should see you feeling quite strong. So the Sun on the 20th moves into the third house, which is your area of communication, and Venus precedes that 2 days earlier. So, you know, I'm seeing this and I'm thinking that this should have you quite active in your local community. This should have you wanting to communicate more. Maybe you're thinking about education, or you're thinking about what it is you can learn that's going to help you progress on the job. What new, maybe you're thinking about bringing new technology into your business if you own your own business. But certainly this is a period of being inquisitive, of being experimental, of wanting to take on something new. Aquarius rules your third house, so the way you approach these matters is very Aquarian in nature. And Aquarians, you know, they're inquisitive, they're willing to try new things, they're innovative. So this sees you starting to be innovative, wanting to connect with people, wanting to share your message. Mercury moves there at the end of the month, so this sees you active. So you're now starting to implement. So what you've been thinking about in terms of your value systems, in terms of money, in terms of self-esteem, in terms of your resources, what you've been getting clear on and formulating plans around, now you're starting to go into the community and you're starting to put those plans into action, or you're starting to put your ideas out there, see how they're being received. Uranus makes some interesting aspects to the Sun and Venus in your second house, and Uranus is in your fifth house. So your things to do with romance, things to do with fun, creativity have been very apt to change, let's just say, and maybe unpredictable. At the same time, you might have had flashes of absolute genius when it comes to your creativity. So, you know, that's really great. But it makes, on the 13th and 14th, Uranus squares up to Venus in that second house of yours, and then the next day it does the same thing with the Sun. So this could be a conflict of values between you and a loved one, a romantic partner, even a child. There might be some sort of surprise there. This could be the urge to just spend on something that you're going to regret, so just watch out for that. But at the same time, this could also bring positive surprises, opportunities that you just hadn't thought of before, innovative ideas. It could play out in that way. So just, you know, it'll be an interesting weekend, the 13th and the 14th, to see how that plays out. Okay, so right, what else have we got going on? So on the 31st, Mercury goes into your third house. Like I said, this will see you communicating a lot more with neighbours, siblings. You're going to be putting your ideas out there. You're going to be feeling very mentally active and curious. And we also have a full moon on this day in Leo in your 9th house, and this affects, it's that 3rd and 9th house axis. So this is about communication, higher learning, travel, expansion, new experiences. Perhaps you have just like somebody in your local community, someone you bump into, or a communication with somebody inspires you in such a big way. It allows you to dream really big and maybe even think of ways in which Maybe something comes to you that you haven't thought of before, and you go, oh my goodness, yes, this idea they presented me with would be so supportive in terms of the long-term picture of my life. The ninth house is about, it's about expansion, it's about travel, it's about education, it's about the law. So you could see changes or sudden opportunities arise here. You could see a change of residence or an opportunity to travel. Certainly you're feeling inspired and you're looking at the big picture. And the nice thing is you're looking at the big picture, but you're also taking care of the details, and I really like that for you. This month, all the planets are direct. After the second, all the planets are moving direct. So this is time for all of us to really put our energy into the areas of our life that need it. And you know, we're in a master number year, so we've been asked to master some particular area of our life. And what will help is if you look at Saturn will tell you a lot, how it's aspected in your chart. It will tell you a lot about what it is you're going to be asked to master. And for Sagittarius, it's about mastering your resources, your finances, and structuring them, and your values, your sense of self-worth, that kind of thing. So all in all, it's a really, really positive month. And you know, this is really the time to go for it, Saggies, and it should see you feeling quite good, and you're being supported on a spiritual level as well by the cosmos, which is really lovely. The universe has got your back this month. So thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you in February, where I will be on time. If you fancy following me on Instagram, then please do, at anushkakakaka. Love talking to you guys, and it's really nice interacting with you. So keep it going, and I will see you next month. Bye bye.